Hello and welcome back. So in the last lesson, we covered what a function is and what it does. Today in this lesson, we are going to be taking it a step further by exploring how we can pass variables into functions to make them more dynamic. Let's get started. Alright, so to demonstrate parameters and arguments, we are going to write a function. Let's go below and write a function called name. The purpose of this function is for this character here to say its name. Inside the function, I'm going to write dot say, and we want it to say Toby for 3 seconds. Now for this function to work, remember we have to call it. So right here, we are going to write say name, calling the function with a parenthesis. So if I click on run, once it starts working, you see the character say its name at the top here for 3 seconds. This is taking some time to run, so you see it's Toby for 3 seconds and it goes off, the code stops running. Alright, so here's the problem and where functions, parameters and arguments becomes useful. Remember we said function are block of reusable code, right? Let's say we want to use this function multiple times, but we want it to output a different name each time it's called. How are we going to do that? The way we are going to do that is with parameters and arguments. We are going to pass a placeholder here inside the parentheses of the function during the declaration called name. Now this name here is the parameter. The variable you pass in during declaration is called the parameter. And whatever variable we pass in when calling the function is called an argument. So I'm going to put Toby here and change the name here to name. So when I call this function, it's going to substitute whatever we have here to this name in here. Okay. All right, so let's run this and see. Once it starts working, we are going to see the name on the screen. So get Toby, right? All right. So now, what if we want to pass in multiple parameters and arguments? Is that possible? Yes, it's surely possible. And before I move on to that, let me just call this function twice. So I'm going to write say name again. And this time, I'm going to put done. If I click on run, we're going to get Toby and we're going to get John afterwards. Let's see that. Toby for 3 seconds, it goes off and John comes in, John, and the code stops running. Alright, so now let's see how we can pass in double parameters and arguments. We can pass in more than one. Let's say we want to also control the time. So I'm going to put duration here. And instead of 3, we're going to put duration inside that function. Then we can control how long we want the text to stay for each function, right? When we're calling it. So for Toby, let's do 3 seconds. And for John, let's do 5 seconds. So if I run, we are going to get Toby for 3 seconds and we are going to get John for 5 seconds. Let's wait for this to the code to load and see it. So get Toby for 3 seconds. And notice that John is going to stay longer on the screen than Toby, as you can see. Alright. So this is the importance of functions, parameters, and function arguments, and passing variables into a function using parameters and arguments. The variables we pass into a function during declaration is called a parameter. The one we pass into the function when we are calling it is called an argument. All right, so now that we have seen how parameters and arguments work, we have finally wrap up our function lesson. And in the next lesson, we are going to apply everything that we have learned from the beginning of this series till now to start building a card game, just like the one we built in the Scratch series. But this time, we are going to do everything in Python. Now, before you close the video, remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with somebody who is interested in learning programming. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.